Every single fighter plane movie you've watched has lied to you about aerial combat. Not little lies, massive, physics-defying, pilot-killing lies that would have gotten real aviators killed in 15 seconds. Hollywood has been recycling the same dogfighting fantasies since 1930, and millions of people think this is how air combat actually worked. Let's destroy these myths once and for all. Myth number 1. Fighter battles were swirling dogfights, where pilots danced through the sky. Hollywood shows Spitfires and Messerschmitt Bf-109s locked in elegant turning battles. Pilots tracking each other, maneuvering for position, matching skill against skill. Pure fantasy. Here's what actually happened in fighter combat. 80% of all pilots shot down never even saw their attacker. Not didn't react in time, never knew death was coming. A study of 2,400 aerial victories found that 1,920 pilots were killed without firing a shot. The Luftwaffe called it dicke Autos, fat cars, hunting. You climbed above enemy formations, picked the slowest bomber or the newest pilot wobbling in formation, dove at 300 miles per hour, fired one burst, and vanished before anyone knew what happened. Real air combat happened at convergence speeds of 600 miles per hour. You had maybe 2 seconds of shooting time. Most engagements lasted under 30 seconds total. Japanese ace Saburo Sakai explained, "We never fought like samurai. We fought like assassins. If the enemy saw you, you had already failed." But try showing that in a movie. 2 seconds of action, then nothing. Myth number 2. Machine guns and cannons tore planes apart instantly. Watch any Hollywood dogfight. Short burst, wing falls off, dramatic explosion. The reality? Fighter pilots averaged 1,200 rounds fired per kill. That's right, 1,200 bullets to destroy one plane. The United States 8th Air Force calculated that P-47 Thunderbolts had a 2% hit rate in combat. 2 bullets out of every 100 fired actually struck enemy aircraft. Even when they hit, most rounds did nothing. A Bf-109 could absorb 40-50 caliber hits and keep flying. One P-47 returned with over 200 holes and landed safely. Here's the brutal mathematics. A Spitfire carried 350 rounds per gun, 20 seconds of ammunition. In those 20 seconds, firing at a closing speed of 500 miles per hour with a 2% hit rate, you might land 7 bullets on target. 7 bullets to destroy a plane built to absorb dozens of hits. Luftwaffe Major Gunther Rahl shot down 275 planes and said, "Most of my ammunition went into empty sky." We all knew it. Hollywood doesn't. Myth number 3. Ace pilots sought honorable duels with worthy opponents. Top Gun made everyone believe fighter aces hunted each other for glorious one-on-one combat. Reality check. Aces became aces by never fighting fair. German ace Erich Hartmann, 352 kills, had 4 rules. Never dogfight. Only attack when you have every advantage. If spotted, dive away immediately. Only shoot novices and stragglers. He explicitly avoided engaging experienced pilots. I never fought Soviet aces. Too dangerous. I shot lieutenants on their first missions. American pilot Robin Olds described his tactics. We hunted the new guys. You could spot them immediately. Wrong position, overreacting, looking the wrong way. One pass, he's dead, go home. Fighting good pilots was stupid. The kill ratios prove it. In 1944, 10% of Allied pilots scored 90% of victories. They weren't better dogfighters. They were better at identifying and killing inexperienced pilots before being seen. One Japanese veteran admitted, "We called new pilots offerings. They existed to die while we scored victories." Myth number 4. The Zero was a fragile paper airplane. Every Pacific War movie shows Zeros exploding from one burst, flying tinderboxes, without armor. Meanwhile, American planes absorb massive damage. Complete fiction based on propaganda. Zeros statistically survived more combat damage than F-4F Wildcats. The United States Navy's own 1943 analysis found Zeros returned to base with heavier battle damage than 60% of American fighters. They counted bullet holes. Zeros averaged 38 hits when shot down. Wildcats averaged 31. The no armor myth? Zeros had 70 millimeters of armored glass, pilot back armor by 1943, and self-sealing tanks by 1944. What really killed Zeros wasn't fragility. It was being outnumbered 8-1 by 1945. Commander Masatake Okumiya wrote, "Our Zeros were tough. But tough means nothing when 15 Hellcats jump 2 zeros." Myth number 5. Turning fights and aerobatics won battles. This might be Hollywood's biggest lie. Movies show victory going to whoever turns tightest, rolls fastest, performs the best aerobatics. Actual combat doctrine? Never turn more than 90 degrees. The plane that won the air war, the P-51 Mustang, was mediocre in turning fights. It succeeded through boom and zoom. Dive from altitude, one shooting pass. Climb away using superior speed. Turning was death. Luftwaffe doctrine explicitly stated, "He who turns first dies first." Energy fighting, not aerobatics, dominated real combat. Altitude was ammunition, speed was life, turning was suicide. Marine ace Joe Foss, 26 victories, never performed a single aerobatic maneuver in combat. We went up, we went down, we went fast. Anyone who turned was asking to die. The RAF calculated that 92% of their losses came from pilots attempting aerobatic defensive maneuvers instead of simply diving away. But straight lines don't sell movie tickets. The truth is less cinematic. Real air combat was mathematical, cold, and brutally unfair. Pilots succeeded through altitude advantage, numerical superiority, and shooting novices who never knew they were targeted. Most dogfights lasted seconds. Most victims never fired back. Most aces never fought other aces. But that doesn't sell tickets. So Hollywood keeps lying. And these myths become history for millions. The real story of fighter combat, the mathematics of energy management, the psychology of selective engagement, the reality of 2-second killing windows, that's far more interesting than Hollywood's version. It just doesn't look as good on screen.